Def Comedy Jam 25. It's good to see so many funny people together in one room, all wondering the same thing. Is Katt Williams gonna show up?
Nervous as hell right now.
Satan and all shady are my enemy. I don't run from the fight. I'm not scared of consequences, because if you're scared of consequences, then that means that breeds fear, and fear means you gonna stop. And we can't ever afford to stop.
Check this, man. All that East Coast, West Coast stuff is a bunch of media hype. It's been my dog from day one.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024.
So Katt Williams said it. The lawsuit started coming out right after he said it, and he said all would be exposed. He heavily implied, and this is again an allegation, that Lucien Grange was having some sort of a relationship with Diddy.
In Hollywood, secrets are the real currency, and whispers carry more weight than contracts. For years, people dismissed the rumors, stories of manipulation, hidden rituals, and power plays at the top. But that silence? It's cracking wide open. The biggest names, the ones you thought you knew, are caught in a web of deals bought with more than just talent. And tonight, Katt Williams isn't asking you to believe. He's dropping proof. The curtain has been pulled back, and the industry's darkest lies are finally in the light. You know that rush when somebody finally says what you've been suspecting all along? That's the room when Katt Williams walked into the Definite Comedy reunion. The tension was thick, nervous energy buzzing. Even Dave Chappelle admitted he was nervous. And you have to ask yourself, why? Because everyone knew Katt wasn't there to prove.
There were other people who had publicly alleged that this is what was going on in Hollywood, Katt Williams being one of them. Take a listen to what he said to Shannon Sharpe on his podcast, and this is before the producer had dropped his lawsuit. Take a listen.
I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Katt Williams said it. The lawsuit started coming out right after he said it, and he said all would be exposed. And I should make it clear that in this lawsuit, the reason why Universal Music Group is being sued by Lil Rod is because he alleges that it's them that is sitting at the top of this ring. So essentially, Diddy is working for somebody else, and that person that he named in his lawsuit was Lucien Grange. He heavily implied, and this is again an allegation, that Lucien Grange was having some sort of a homosexual relationship with Diddy. So he is the person that controls Diddy, that Lucien Grange was aware of these parties, that Universal Music Group was aware of these parties, essentially that Diddy is the thug and the gangster working on behalf of Lucien Grange. That is the takeaway that you get when you read this lawsuit. So how odd that rather than the media being unbelievably interested, as I was, completely seized by this lawsuit, as I was, rather than them asking questions about Fahim, asking questions about Lucien Grange, who's got a very interesting past, changed his name. I don't tend to trust men that change their last names, least of all 3 times, as his family has done. Rather than any of that, they started attacking me for reading the law.
This is the moment everything snaps into focus. Candace Owens doesn't just vouch for Katt's credibility, she gives weight to what a lot of people suspected but couldn't prove. Katt had been calling out a relationship between Diddy and Lucien Grange long before the Lil Rod lawsuit hit headlines. And while most shrugged him off as wild, he was allegedly sitting on intelligence that later played into serious legal matters. Make no mistake, he wasn't just making predictions, he claims to have been sharing documented findings.
In 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information.
30 years, 3 full decades of systematically collecting evidence while everyone thought he was just being controversial. Every outburst, every rant, every controversial statement wasn't random. It was strategic release of information from the most comprehensive Hollywood intelligence operation ever conducted by an insider.
Tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all...
This isn't a flex, it's a warning. Katt isn't bragging. He's telling the industry he sits on files that could topple careers, and everyone in that room knows it. It's a Mexican standoff where the truth is the deadliest weapon. Now that we've established Katt's credibility, let's peel back what his 30-year probe allegedly uncovered. And trust me, it's darker than you can imagine. This isn't isolated corruption. According to his claims, it's an entire economic system.
Recognize if you keep calling people a conspiracy theorist and you keep saying it's a conspiracy, that people may shy away from the topic. I don't suffer from that. I want to know what's going on, as should every single person in this country, because there should be no individual in the entire world that can beat a woman on camera and not face any charges. That is just an utter insanity. It begs the question as to what is actually going on in Hollywood. And I think the answer is that Hollywood has been being run by a gang with a very long arm, an arm that reaches all the way into the government for a very long time.
Candace Owens cuts through the illusions with surgical precision. According to her account, Hollywood operates less like an industry and more like a gang. Diddy cast as the alleged kingpin, and sexual favors treated as bargaining chips. If you accept that frame, it shatters the comforting myths we tell ourselves about the business. What's been called networking looks more like systematic coercion. What was sold as mentorship reads like leverage traded for career advancement. And the harm runs far deeper than transactions. The real damage, Owens suggests, is psychological.
You got to take drugs. You're going through so much to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far, you know? Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head, you know? But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your...
Terrence Howard pulls back the curtain on the chilling endgame. According to him, men who enter these rituals don't just play along. They lose their man card. They allegedly surrender identity, dignity, and agency. Once that line is crossed, you're no longer treated as a person with choices. You become property, with compromat attached. The system, Howard claims, doesn't just corrupt individuals. It turns them into engines of corruption. Think about the stories that follow. A 5 feet 4 inches comedian from Philly rockets to the top with no obvious grassroots climb, no legendary club circuit, no viral breakout, no organic groundswell. Just an overnight leap into superstardom. Suspicious? Many people say it should be. The narrative pushed here is brutal and simple. Some careers aren't built on talent alone. They are built on dark transactions that leave permanent scars.
Who don't think they got something to say? The fact of the matter is what makes a great comedy special is if 100 people talk at the same time that you talking, are you saying something different than them people are saying?
No.
Because if you are, then you deserve a special. And if you don't, you're going to find out you're not special. Because they're going to let you do your special, Gerard Carmichael, but nobody's going to watch it. They're going to let you be a star, Lil Rel, but you ugly. And white people don't believe in ugly stars. They think you have to be somebody that women want to sleep with and men want to be. But because we black, they say, oh, you don't even deserve that. So you get Kevin Hart, Lil Rel, Gerard Carmichael, all in a row, Hannibal Buress, just dudes that no woman would talk to in Lenox Mall, let alone you making them movie stars. Why? Because you know ain't nobody gonna sleep with them. You only got Tiffany Haddish. She been doing comedy since she was 16. You can't tell me your favorite Tiffany Haddish joke. Why? Because she ain't done a tour yet. She ain't done a special. She has not proven the ability to tell jokes back to back for an hour to nobody. And they already ready to down Monique and up somebody who has showed them Girls Trip. Did you think she wrote Girls Trip, goofball?
Right.
Or do you think that was already a script and they handed it to her? It's up to you, whatever you want to believe. I I'm the introduction to Tiffany Haddish in the movie School Dance. The clip for School Dance has been seen more times than the movie has.
Katt Williams drops the hammer with his most devastating assessment of Kevin Hart's rise. According to Katt, Kevin and Tiffany Haddish didn't climb to the top through sheer talent. They made deals with Diddy. The allegation is raw and brutal. They allegedly traded favors for opportunities, and Katt claims they are still locked into that cycle today. But the sinister twist? When Diddy was freshly arrested, watch how fast Kevin Hart...
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed, at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. I should.
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get them early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
what the did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes. And we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid. Listen.
We're having a good time, yo.
Kevin Hart knew things he should have never known. Intimate details about Diddy and Usher's inappropriate relationship. That's not barbershop gossip. That's inside access. And instead of creating distance, Kevin flipped the script. He took something predatory and reframed it as harmless, just two guys wrestling over Frosted Flakes. But look at the timing. Diddy gets arrested. And suddenly both Kevin and Usher roll out these nostalgic little stories, painting decades of toxic behavior as playful memories. That's not coincidence. That's coordinated damage control. Kevin's reaction says it all. Innocent people don't jump in to normalize a scandal. Guilty ones rewrite the narrative to protect the system that owns them. And if you've ever asked how Kevin Hart leapfrogged from open mics to Hollywood royalty despite his limited comedic range, here's your answer. It wasn't merit. It was compromise. The bedroom became his launchpad. Now, we step into the darkest chapter yet. Where family isn't sacred, it's currency. Where daughters become props for cover stories. And the man America crowned as moral authority reveals himself as one of the most twisted players in the game. Steve Harvey. Because the Lori Harvey-Diddy romance? That wasn't love. That was the most calculated cover-up in entertainment history.
Don't get off the wall to dress some penny-any-ass boy who ain't got going for himself. You done stopped your climb up on the wall so you can come down here and talk to his little punk. Don't do that, man. I stay away from it. Now, do I want to? Yes. Because I'm a human being, and I'm hood. I used to be a fighter, and I still got hands. They slow, but if you get up on me real close, I can still knock your monkey ass out. I just don't have the quickness I have. I know how to turn my hip and shift that weight, and I'll knock your short ass out.
The mask slips completely here. When confronted about his relationship with Diddy, Steve Harvey's response isn't denial, it's violence. He threatens to knock out Katt Williams for speaking the truth. Innocent people don't respond to allegations with threats of physical violence. Guilty people do.
Picture this. It's 2019 and the internet is losing its mind. Diddy, who was then 49, and Lori Harvey, a fresh-faced 22-year-old, are spotted everywhere together. Italy, New York Soho, Malibu dinners, you name it. They're there together. Paparazzi catch them strolling like a couple, and the blogs, well, they go wild. A 27-year age gap? That alone raises eyebrows. But then reports drop that they're rocking matching outfits. Matching outfits, people. Like, who does that unless they're trying to scream, "We're together"? But here's the kicker. Steve Harvey, Lori's stepdad, is chilling with them in Italy while this is all going on. Why is Steve, Diddy's buddy since 2005, cool with his stepdaughter cozying up to a man twice her age? something is not adding up, and the internet smelled it a mile away.
Diddy and Lori Harvey, they're heating things up in Italy.
Notice her arm is on the back of his chair.
One thing about Lori Harvey is that her dating life is always gonna make headlines, because that girl knows how to pick and choose her men. She has been in a lot of high-profile relationships, and as a result of that, there have been a lot of weird rumors about her. And she's the type of person who usually doesn't address rumors online, so there are some wild, unchecked rumors about her that are still spreading. Lori's very long list of exes includes soccer player Memphis Depay, rapper Future, Michael B. Jordan, Trey Songz, Diddy's son Justin Combs, and then Diddy himself. All of her relationships have been pretty public, but her rumored relationship with Diddy raised a lot of eyebrows because she had dated his son only a year before. She and Diddy were slammed for being disgraceful. Lori was labeled an HOE, and it was just a mess.
Was Lori Harvey passed around? Guys, fast forward to 2025, and the rumors have gotten nasty. They've been nasty for a while. But people are posting all types of claims, with some saying that Lori Harvey was passed around in Hollywood, while others whisper that she was sold to Diddy. Yes, you heard that right, sold. These are unverified, but the fact that people are even saying this shows how shady this whole thing looks. And then there's the Justin Combs angle. Rumors swirled back in 2018 that Lori was dating Diddy's son, Justin Combs, because their families were so tight. Diddy and Steve go way back, guys. So this is not a stretch, right? Like, I don't think it is. But Lori then shut it down in 2023 in an E! News interview saying, "I've heard I dated a father and son before. Absolutely not true." Okay, Lori. But then why do these rumors keep sticking? Why all the pictures and you very, very snuggled up to Diddy wearing matching outfits? To me, this is
the mask
screaming
finally
a cover-up.
slips. When Steve Harvey gets pressed about his ties to Diddy, he doesn't deny it. He doesn't defend himself. He threatens violence, straight up saying he'd knock out Katt Williams for exposing the truth. And that right there tells you everything you need to know. Innocent men clear their
secret.
My hidden talents really can't be discussed on national television because it involves excessive amounts of baby oil, low lights, and moaning. You gotta be a baby oil professional. Now, most people don't have a microwave in their bedroom. I've installed one because I need hot baby oil at hand. Here's a couple of low-budget ways to accomplish it. Run a sink full of hot water and just lay that bottle of baby oil in there for about 15 minutes. Turn it and let it heat up like that. Here's another way to apply warm baby oil. Take a washcloth, run it under the hot water till you can't stand it anymore. Then wring it out. Then saturate the washcloth with the baby oil. Then take the hot washcloth over there to the bed. Then as you need it, wring it a little bit and go to work.
So this is the
4 years, Katt Williams has been pulling back the curtain on one of Hollywood's darkest secrets. Lori Harvey's fling with Diddy wasn't about her at all. It was a smokescreen, a carefully staged distraction to cover for Steve Harvey's own hidden relationship with Diddy.
It's so funny because I'm so quiet.
Yeah.
There's been so many stories that have been made up about me. Like I've seen stories about me being like fully in love with somebody and we have like this whole relationship and I'll see the guy and I'm like, I've actually never even met him before.
No.
Like full-blown stories I've heard. I've dated a father and son before.
Not true?
Absolutely not true.
Lori Harvey's denial ended up saying more than she realized. When she insisted the rumors about her dating both a father and son were absolutely not true, she accidentally exposed the real secret. The truth wasn't about her at all. It was Steve.
Don't live in the world you think you do. Everybody that you think is not guilty is about to show you who they really are. I've been screaming for years. We're not talking about the victims that are still going through right now with other people who are running to cover their ass and deleting their social medias. Pink, Megan Fox, Tyra Banks, Steve Harvey. Why you running? We got legal evidence.
But the most damning evidence doesn't come from rumors. It comes from survivor ally Katt herself. She named Steve Harvey directly as one of the celebrities involved in sexual relationships with Diddy.
All right, one time I'm in a studio. Don't judge me either. One time I'm in a studio, and maybe I was tripping. because I never really quite been a weed smoker or nothing, you know. But one time I'm smoking weed, brother, and I walk in the studio and just seen uncomfortability to my eyes. How about that? I seen uncomfortability to my eyes, you know, and my eyes are very comfortable with things that I see, and I seen uncomfortability with my eyes, and I'm not going to, I'm not laying back there and saying that everything I'm saying is just 100. You know, that's why it was so easy for me to get out of my contract, is because Round knew to let me go. You know what I'm saying? And even right now, I just say uncomfortability to my eyes. You can take that how you want it. You heard me? But uncomfortability to my eyes. What I'm not used to seeing two men do when I look at them. A powerful man at that.
Chopper from Making the Band delivers the most graphic confirmation yet, recounting how he personally witnessed two powerful men together in ways that left him shaken. One was Diddy, the other, allegedly, was Steve Harvey. The chain is undeniable: violent threats, family manipulation, and now direct witness testimony. This doesn't paint Steve as a bystander. It places him at the center of a machine that sacrifices even family to preserve power and position. And then there's Kevin Hart. What makes his career terrifying isn't just how fast it skyrocketed, it's that it happened without any foundation. Every true comedy legend has a story. Richard Pryor grinding in clubs for years, Eddie Murphy cutting his teeth on SNL, Dave Chappelle slowly building a loyal audience one joke at a time. But Kevin Hart? One day, he's nobody. The next, he's selling out arenas worldwide. No iconic sets people still quote. No viral moments. No organic demand. Just sudden, inexplicable success that shatters every rule of the industry. Katt Williams pulls the mask all the way off here. Even the struggle stories are scripted. Those heartwarming tales of poverty, rejection, and years of grinding, they are carefully manufactured narratives. The industry doesn't just script the wins. It scripts the pain too. Even the suffering is staged, engineered to tug at your emotions and make
saying that everything that happens in a business that's based off of pretend that seems like a setup is.
Everything that happens in a business, everything that happens in a business that's based off of pretend that seems like a setup is.
Yes. What I'm saying is, if Jussie Smollett and Lee Daniels for a living make stories that are not real, and they make them so good that people believe them and buy them, and that's what business they're in, why would you think it would be weird if they flipped out and said a story that turned out to not be true?
Why? Why would we think that if they are capable of doing that for a living?
That's what they do for a living. They do that 300 episodes. Is take something fictitious and make it seem real. That's the business.
Listen to how Katt dismantles the Ricky Smiley operation. These comedians masterfully craft struggle stories so believable, so emotionally manipulative, that audiences can't separate truth from fiction. They weaponize fake trauma, turning manufactured pain into a career-building tool. And that revelation is devastating. Because it doesn't just ruin one person's credibility, it shatters the foundation of every inspirational celebrity story you've ever believed. If struggles can be fabricated with such precision, then what else is artificial? Their personas? Their relatability? The supposed connection to regular people? All of it could be carefully engineered for maximum profit. The harsh reality is this: the celebrities you thought earned it the hard way may have taken the easy route. Bedroom deals with predators, covered up by fake struggle narratives designed to trick you into rooting for them. As this expose reaches its peak, one truth becomes undeniable. The system that shielded these predators for decades is crumbling. And when it collapses, it's not just the guilty who will fall. It's everyone who played along thinking they were untouchable. Steve Harvey embodies everything rotten about Hollywood's power structure. A man who paraded moral authority on stage while privately feeding the most immoral machine imaginable. But no empire built on lies lasts forever.
But Steve Harvey is going down with the diddler. My sources very close to me told me about 25 years ago, Steve Harvey went to a freak-off, right? I knew some security guards who had seen it happen. He goes to a freak-off. Him and Diddy allegedly had relations. We all know Diddy has 90 terabytes of footage of freak-offs. What happened? Reportedly, Diddy has been blackmailing Steve Harvey for the last 25 years. And even sicker that I've heard, Diddy was dating his daughter. And so was Diddy's son was dating Steve Harvey's daughter. And reports and security guards close to me tell me that Diddy just uses his daughter as an ATM machine to get back all those years of blackmail that he has been taking away from Steve Harvey. I am sorry if he is one of your most favorite TV show hosts. He's one of mine as well, but the news must come to light. And yes, Steve Harvey is involved, allegedly.
The prophecy is undeniable. Steve Harvey will fall with Diddy. The ties run too deep, the testimony too consistent, the evidence too overwhelming. When Diddy's empire collapses, he's dragging his entire protection network down with him. And Steve sits dead center in that web. And the pattern couldn't be clearer. Harvey's behavior has always exposed his loyalties. Just look at the Lori Harvey cover-up. If he's willing to throw his own daughter into Diddy's arms, what else has he been hiding behind closed doors? Now, take a hard look at the company he's kept. Bill Cosby. Long before the conviction, Steve was shielding him. Not out of friendship, but out of self-preservation. Monsters defend monsters because they know once one falls, the rest are exposed. That wasn't loyalty, it was conspiracy. Harvey built his empire on the illusion of family values, faith, and moral authority. But behind the curtain, he was protecting predators, playing his part in Hollywood's darkest exchange. In this system, dignity became currency. Souls became commodities. Family members became bargaining chips. And moral authority became the mask for criminal conspiracy. But that mask is cracking. Diddy is sitting in federal prison. The protection network is collapsing. Witnesses are finally speaking. Evidence is finally surfacing. And all those celebrities who thought their secrets were untouchable are realizing that Katt Williams wasn't just ranting, he was documenting. For 3 decades, he gathered receipts. Hollywood's predators operated unchecked because they controlled the story. But they made one fatal miscalculation. They underestimated a 5 feet 5 inches comedian from Cincinnati who refused to play the game. Katt Williams didn't just out the stars who slept with Diddy for deals. He exposed an entire system built on the systematic destruction of human dignity. And now that system is facing judgment. The truth doesn't just set you free, sometimes it sets you free to fall. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss what's coming next. Until then, fam, keep it real.